Hey everybody, thanks for joining. Before we start the episode, I wanted to give you a little sneak peek of our setup. We are at Riders Field today. I'm not out on the field in the wind and the sun. I'm in a suite, and our guest is going to join us soon, but I just wanted to show you what's going on outside. So he's one of those outfielders out there taking BP and shagging balls, and in just a few minutes he's going to join us and we'll get started with this episode of Hustle and Pro. Welcome to episode 154 of Hustle and Pro. I'm your host, Kelly Walker. We're here at Riders Field, and our guest today is RoughRiders first baseman Blaine Crim. Welcome to Hustle and Pro.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
It is fun to have you in person, sitting down talking to you.
Yeah.
So in my notes, I have that you were drafted by the Rangers in 2019. You're a Mississippi College guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were named top first baseman in the postseason All-Star, Player of the Week, Player of the Month, then promoted up here to Frisco August 3rd of 21. Does all that sound right?
That's correct.
Okay, take us back a step. Before the Blaine we know here in Frisco then, what was like your childhood story of sports and baseball? Was it all sports or just baseball all the time?
Typical baseball guy. Growing up, I was super unathletic.
Unathletic?
Very unathletic.
Okay.
Short, on the large side. Underdeveloped. I was younger for my grade, so I was kind of like, I was at some point 2 years behind some people that I was playing with.
Oh, wow.
So, I was seeing them hitting puberty as I was growing up, and I was not. But because of that, I just kind of fell in love with baseball. It's the only thing I was decent at the time. And then my parents, of course, helped facilitate, travel ball, and, they sacrificed everything for me to, playing every weekend, doing all that kind of stuff. So I've tried football out late middle school, early high school, got thrown around, bullied by some studs at my school, so that was not for me. I was eating grass too much.
Oh, man. Where are you from?
I'm from Mobile.
Okay.
Yep. So I was right next to Bubba Thompson, so I was watching him do his stuff on the football field. So I was kind of stuck with baseball. Of course, I was the kid who dreamed of playing the MLB and going Division I first, and just your prototypical dream. Found out early in high school that was not going to be the thing for me. All the schools I wanted to go to just believed I was underdeveloped, which I was. So throughout my high school career, junior and senior year, stuff kind of going my way, putting up some numbers. But at the time, Mississippi College was really the only real school that was interested in me. They were giving me the opportunity to hit and pitch.
Okay.
And so felt like that was the place for me. Went there, had the best 4 years of my life. Met my wife, met countless, lifelong friends. I actually talked to my coach today. So it was just,
that's great.
Yeah, unbelievable experience.
So sometimes people don't realize, in general, how hard it is.
Yeah.
When you're a parent of an athlete or an athlete with those dreams, you think, if they're really good, they'll be able to play at higher levels, right? Like, you just gotta be really good.
Yeah.
There's so much more to it. So when you say you kind of hit you in early in high school, what do you just notice that, like, the talent around you, or just the people aren't, knocking on your door asking you, or you're just not, you can just tell that it's just the numbers aren't there, right?
Yeah. My dad was, one of those annoying parents in a good way. He was like, where do you want to go? Like, what we need to do to get you there? I went to camps, I went to showcases,
Yep.
I went to these all-star things in Alabama to put myself in front of all these eyes. And, they liked what they saw, but like I said, they just kind of thought I was more of a JUCO route than Division I route. And I wanted to be a doctor at the time. So Mississippi College had a good pre-med. I had good grades to where, I got a good scholarship to go there. And, I felt like I had the opportunity to play. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I could have gone to junior college, and, I'm playing with plenty of guys that played junior college, so that could have been a route that was good for me.
There are a lot of routes. Right?
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, like, you still end up here. So in 2019, you still get drafted by, well, I'm a homer, so a great organization, I say, for the Rangers. So does it reset your expectations of, like, your dreams and do you reset your goals, and now you're like, all right, I'm in the system.
Yeah.
And so you start out in A-League or A-ball, right? And so you have these good seasons. And so now, like, how are you looking at your goals and, like, defining what steps are your success?
It's funny. My first season, I was kind of like stunned that I got drafted. I'd seen so many guys in my conference do so well, way better than the numbers that I put up, and they never got a chance to get drafted. Looking back, I apparently had some more in-depth numbers that they liked that didn't just jump off the page at other people. But the Rangers were actually the first one on me. Rick Schroeder and Brian Morrison did a good job of keeping up with me, and they made it known that they wanted me going into my senior year. And then I had some other teams kind of come in, but not enough to where I was like, wow, I'm a huge draft prospect. I still had a sales job lined up.
Because you never know.
I was getting, I knew I was about to be engaged. So, and I knew the route. I didn't have any buddies that were playing minor league baseball besides Bubba, and of course Bubba was a first rounder. I didn't know anybody that would have taken a similar route to me as me, so I didn't know what to expect. So honestly, going into my first season, it was kind of just like, hey, I'm just going to play this one season. And just see where it goes.
I think that's all you can do is season by season, or part of the season by part of the season too. As you never know where you're gonna end up. Okay, that's interesting. But I love that though. Every path is different, and you can't control it. Right? That's a big part of it too. All right, so I was here for Media Day, which I can't believe was so long ago now. It's already this season is already in full swing. But you talked about plate discipline and how last year you tried to do too much, you feel like, in expanding your strike zone. So here we are recording this at the end of May, 10 home runs in. How are you feeling now?
I feel like it's kind of starting to pick up. I feel like a lot of the swings that I was putting on balls early in the season were good, but maybe necessarily the results weren't coming. I was kind of feeling some stuff out, and I felt good about, like you said, the plate discipline. I felt like I was taking pitches that I should have been taking. I didn't feel like I was really chasing. I just feel like I was kind of getting pitched well by some of the staffs we were seeing, which is going to happen. But, in reality, to hit these guys, you have to hit their mistakes. You're not hitting their good pitches. Right. And so I just felt like I was getting pitched really well. And then, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I felt like my swing started kind of taking off. I started to feel stuff I felt last year, and kind of just ran with it. Of course, being in the top 5 of this order is fun to hit into. I'm hitting in good spots a lot of the time. And, they either got to throw to Foss, me, or Duran, or Dustin, or J.O. So it's kind of like one of us. Be a mistake in somebody's going to get pitches to hit. It's just about knowing that you might not get one this go-around and being okay not pressing that one at bat, knowing that maybe another at bat in the game you're going to get that mistake. And I feel like if you're worried about trying to do too much this one at bat, it can just carry over. You're 15 at bats in, you only got 2 hits, and you're like, man, I could have really nipped this in the bud. 3 at bats in.
That's that patience though with this sport, is that you have to let those at bats go behind you, right? I mean, there's a time to go look at them and figure out if there's something wrong, but for the most part, you have to just push on to the next and let it go. You just have to flush every night you leave here till you're coming back a new day. I had one of our mental performance skills guys tell me a few weeks ago, actually, where I feel like he helped me turn some stuff around. Didn't really have a release coming off the field. I was kind of taking it home with me and letting things compound. And he told me about Jim Thome. When he was going really good in his career, he would write down his positives and negatives from each game, and on the way out he'd ball it up, throw it away in the trash, and walk out. So it's kind of just that mental reset, and I kind of took that to heart, and I feel like it's going a long way. And plus, I live with 3 baseball guys that are, they're all from different backgrounds, and they're all different players, different mindsets, and I feel like they help me, release as well. So.
Okay. And now let's take a quick break for a word from our sponsor.
I want to tell you guys about Beyond Studios. I'm going there for Pilates right now, and I love it, and I want you guys to try it out. You can actually try your first class for free when you use my code HUSTLEandPRO. That's hustle ampersand pro, and you'll get your first class for free. So you can check it out at either their Beyond Studios location in West Frisco on 4th Army, or the Beyond 500, which is at Lebanon and Legacy, and that's more of a cardio workout. So head to thebeyondstudios.com to find out more.
And now let's get you back to this episode of Hustle and Pro.
I was going to ask you about your living situation. You're married, and I also want to talk to you about that too, because you mentioned that the other day. That I love what you said. We're going to talk about her in a second. But so you're in a team housing situation. I know that you're not the only married one here, are you?
No.
There's several, right?
Yeah.
So I wondered that though. Do you get a chance to be in the same city with your wife, or you guys just have to be split because of both of your coach or jobs?
So she's her head coach, her boss is actually letting her be with me until August of this year. I think he kind of realizes how hard it is and how hard it can be, and I think he saw how it affected her last year, which is great on his part.
Right.
And so she gets to be with me for the most part until August. You know, she gets to work remotely and recruit around here, and she'll go, like, she's going back next week to help out and stuff like that. But
isn't the worst place to recruit female soccer players?
Right.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of soccer activity.
She loves it here. This is her happy place.
That's
I know
great.
at some point, you know, we want to end up here. But yeah, it's me and her and my dog. We have the master, and then Kellen Strom, Dustin Harris, and Trey Hare. So we're in a 4-bedroom. We're about 10 minutes away.
She's a saint.
Yeah, she's great. She's great, but she loves it. I mean, you know, we get our date nights, and the guys are really good about it when it's, hey, it's time for me to go.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, so it's great.
All right, so she's I didn't say it outright, but she's a D2 soccer coach up at Greenville.
Yes.
Greenville? And I'm quoting you from what you said when I was out there on media day. You said she's a stud.
Yeah.
And I love that. And that
Understatement.
stuck with me because you were so you're talking about baseball, but then somebody asked you about her, or you said something, and then you lit up and you're like, she's awesome, and all this stuff about her. So I think that's awesome, and that you threw it out there. It's fine. It's great. Tell everybody how awesome she is.
Yeah, I could talk about her.
And y'all met
for a
in
long
college,
time.
you said.
We did. She had a weird story. Absolute, like I said, stud coming out of high school. Didn't know her. Googled her, read about her once I was starting to talk to her.
That's great.
National team, all that good stuff.
Oh, wow.
Almost qualified for the World Cup team and all that kind of, or her age group going to the high school. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so went to Arkansas out of high school, and had a bad leg injury, and then just some other stuff going on, and transferred back home to Mississippi, went to Mississippi College, and thankfully met her and kind of hit it off. Both very passionate, competitive athletes. She can always hold above me that she was an All-American and I wasn't. And
she's got you on something.
Yeah, so
I love it. My husband and I are not at y'all's level, obviously, but we met in this similar, he's a soccer player, and we met in college. He was playing there, but we've always been competitive in sports.
Yeah.
It's like a big part of our family.
Yeah, it is.
2 kids now, and so it's like a lot of our life. People laugh at us because we're either always here or at an FC Dallas game because soccer is so important to us, or right over here at the basketball at the Legends or something. And so because we met playing sports in college, it's just it formed our life, I'm sure that's how you guys are, since you both work in sports.
Yeah. I try and be involved with her soccer team because, of course, my off season's her season. I'm close with a lot of the girls. I'm close with the coach. We're close with their family. So it's a really cool thing to watch her coach.
Yeah.
Of course, she's having a tough time not playing. But the impact she makes with those girls is incredible to see in person, and she's super passionate, like I said, super competitive, and she's very gifted in the soccer world. So she pushes me off the field, sometimes too much, but has very high expectations for me as a person, as a man, as a player. Yeah, she's great.
That's fantastic. I think what brought that up is you were talking about winter ball, and so I'm curious. And just for those who don't understand how that all works and why you would, why you go do that, is it simply a development step just to get more experience?
It was developmental and financial for me. I was able to make more than I'd made my whole career in just 3 short months.
Wow.
And it still wasn't a ton of money, but.
See, I never realized that.
Yeah.
I just always assumed it was an extension of this season to keep just to,
Yeah.
I don't know, to get more at bats, to
Yeah.
get more, to work on something. But
And
I didn't realize that. I never factored that into it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I kind of went. The plate discipline was a big thing for me going down there. You know, I wanted to work on striking out less, walking more. I wanted to work on, you know, trying to keep the ball in the air and off the ground. You know, I was trying to fine tune my game at the plate and defensively as well. I actually ended up DHing like 90% of the time though.
Okay.
But yeah, and then, you know, being a senior sign is tough. You know, it's great. It's a great opportunity, but it can be tough. And, you know, that was a great off-season, quote-unquote, job for me and my wife. And so, you know, it was kind of a blessing in both aspects for me.
So, Timewise, you finish up here. I mean, this last season for the RoughRiders ended later than normal seasons would, because they got different start dates that got moved around. So you finish up here, what, in September?
Yeah.
And then do you get a break? And then you head to Puerto Rico? Like where? You were in Puerto Rico, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
I had about a 3-week break.
Oh, okay.
And then we got like 2 weeks of preseason, whatever, down there. And it was the schedule down there was great. I mean, we played 3 to 4 days a week, max. You know, I lived from here to the stands right there from the beach.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, of course, I got to see Puerto Rico. You know,
That's
baseball's
nice.
taken me all across the world. So it was tough not being with my wife. I got to come home for 2 weeks for Christmas. And then I went right back for playoffs and then came back. And if I would have made the Caribbean series, then I probably would have had a week before spring training.
Oh, gosh.
So that would have been a lot.
Can they overlap? If you go?
No, it wouldn't have overlapped, but it would have been
Really close.
come home, pack, kiss my wife, go.
That's hard, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, does spring training start March, February? When are you back here?
It
March?
was
Or
mid-February.
not here, but mid-February.
Yeah, because
that's early.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And it would have been earlier if it wasn't for the lockout. So.
Yeah, I know. One day we're going to get back to a normal, right? A normal baseball season for everybody, starting and stopping. So you talked about you were DHing, and you didn't really get a whole lot of defensive play out there, or down there, out there. Here, you are playing mostly first base? Or you're playing outfield? I saw you striking balls in the outfield a while ago.
Yeah.
Are you always out there ready? Or what's your...
Yeah, I mean, I got to play here. I played more outfield here last year than I did first, mainly because we had Huff at first. But, you know, here it's 5 to 6, you know, 5 days usually at first, maybe one DH, maybe one off day, which is my favorite. I love playing first. I feel very comfortable over there. That's where I've always played. You know, outfield, of course, it can add 2 spots in the lineup for me, you know, in the future. Just try and stay, like, I don't want to get to the point where they throw me out there one day and I'd be like, dang, I haven't taken a fly ball in 2 years.
Right.
So it's kind of like...
You don't want to lose it.
Yeah, it's more just...
So what do you mean it opens up 2 spots in the lineup? Like, just you mean on this roster or anywhere else in the future, like they can place you at center or left?
Right, corner outfield.
Okay.
Yeah, and then at the same time, I try and take ground balls at third. So that way, maybe first, third, right, left, DH.
Just
if I can,
see you as more utility.
Yeah,
than
if I can have 5 spots.
Yeah.
Then it's way better than just being locked into first base, because then you have a lot more pressure to hit.
Yeah. Well, then not that you're only a first baseman, not that that's a problem, but it's a disadvantage to you if you are finding yourself on a team that has a first baseman they're good with and they don't need another one. Or the one that they need is you're backing up and you're never getting out there.
Exactly.
So opening up your possibilities. So, but you're open to both. How do you know what you're going to play each week? I mean, do you right now just know your first base and that's your role? Yeah,
have conversations leaving spring training, with some of the people in the org, and they kind of give you a forecast of what they think is going to happen this year, or like where they want you to play, what they want you to do. Mine was fine-tuning first base, trying to just be the best first baseman I could be.
Okay.
So, of course, being on the same page with JG here, just getting my work in over there, but then at the same time, like I said, trying to take ground balls at third just to stay athletic, just in case.
Yeah.
Because last year I played third because we had 2 injuries, bang, bang, in high A.
Yeah, especially the end of the season, you just never know what they're going to need.
And
JG, is that what you guys call your coach? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And like I said, I mean, if you look at our infield is stacked. So I mean, I'm low on the totem pole when it comes to playing, and then same in the outfield. So that's why I try and take pride in playing first.
Sure.
I think I'm only the only primary first baseman on the team. So that's kind of also why like I'm probably, if I'm going to play today, I'm playing first or DH.
Right.
So
yeah, DH is it? I mean, this might sound stupid, but it's not your day off. But is it sort of like your day off?
For me,
you're not taking the field.
Yeah, I'm not. The season's so long, and you play so many games that like in your mind you tell yourself like, dang man, a day off would be great today.
Mm-hmm.
But when I come to the field and I stand in the dugout and the game's going on, I'm like, all right, I don't want to be off.
You don't want to.
Yeah. So it's kind of like
you're in it.
Yeah.
Once you're in it.
Yeah. Once I'm here and I'm at the game, like I want to play.
Yeah.
So DH days kind of are a day off for me. I still stay locked in during the game. You don't know when you're about to bat, but it does give the body a nice rest.
So on real days off when you're not in the lineup, are you here?
Yeah.
You're here. You're still
We're
here.
Yeah, we do everything except play.
You're just okay.
Yeah, and you get to take it easy. You don't have to hit if you don't want to necessarily. You don't have to hit on game days if you don't want to. And if you're playing, it's very individualized.
Mm-hmm.
And
everybody warms up and preps in their own way. It's not team sanctioned that every day has
exactly.
to do.
So usually off day is a good day to get your lift in, or get with the trainer and get all your accessory stuff done. So spa day, that kind of thing.
A little relaxing day.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier, I don't know what you called it,
mental performance.
Mental performance. Is that something? Do you know if the RoughRiders have always had that? Is that a new? Or?
It's a Rangers thing. So
it's a Rangers.
So they.
I've just never heard anybody talk about it, so I'm curious. I love it. I'm just wondering.
We have two that are, one's mainly with the big league club, and then the other one roams like throughout all minor league teams. So we'll get them for like a week here and a week there. So we've had each one week. So we've had a mental performance person here 2 weeks out of our season so far. We'll probably have them like 6 weeks total if you look at the whole year. And it's not. But at the same time, if I want to call them right when we get done here, I can call.
They're available to you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
I wonder. I'm going to ask how long that's been going on, just out of curiosity. I think it's so great.
Yeah.
Especially you're not alone in this situation. You're married and you're not alone, and you're not one of the youngest here, right? But that really probably does help some guys who feel a little more lost than others, right?
Because this is a level where it can be the first time people have ever failed, and that's tough because I think this is one of the tougher leagues to play in. Mm-hmm. There's the cliche saying if you can play in AA, you can play in the big leagues, which I don't really know if that's true or not, but
sometimes there is no AAA for people that, especially here, you're just you go straight, and sometimes it depends on how long you get to stay here too.
Yeah.
If it's on purpose and you do get to go straight there, you are ready.
Right. Right.
And especially like with the level of play that you mentioned, your lineup and your pitching, staff and everything.
Yeah.
You are seeing a really high level of what's
they have 4 big leaguers over there right now that are throwing against us this week, so we're getting prepped.
Yeah. But that's good.
Yeah, it's great. It's cool to see how you match up.
It's what you're here for. It's what this league is, here to do. It's development, right? Get better by seeing better people. I was going to ask you. You said something earlier. Maybe growing up, something you talked about, but or maybe playing first base. Who were you watching when you were a kid? Like, who's your baseball guys that you watched and looked up to?
So I was a bit being, Alabama doesn't have a team. A lot of Braves fans down there, so I liked Chipper Jones a lot. I didn't really have a team.
Okay.
I was just a big baseball guy.
Yeah.
Loved Big Papi, loved A-Rod, loved Jeter, loved Miguel Cabrera. But I really started to appreciate it once I got into pro ball, seeing what these dudes are doing every day.
Yeah.
Because you realize it's the same game, you're playing the same game, but it's so hard.
It's so hard.
They
make it look so easy.
Yeah, the guys that are doing it year after year after year, and just kind of grasping how they're doing it. Yep. Making those 0 for 15s, they're making them 0 for 7s. That's the difference between the guys that are playing for 10 years and the guys that are playing for 3. So, growing up, it was, the hitters.
Yeah.
I just like the hitters.
Yeah.
So, You know, that's all my parents ever did with me was hit. It's probably why I was always fat. It's because we never did any running or agilities or anything like that. So it is
Well,
what
I
it
think
is.
it's working out for
Yeah,
you. Just
it is
fine.
what it is.
Yeah, no, hearing you say all that, all those names, it reminds me like the different baseball generations that we are. So this is probably going to air, I think, close to your birthday. So happy early birthday.
Thank
You have
you.
a June birthday, yes?
Yes, June 17th.
When you were being born, I was unpacking out at college in Lubbock at Texas Tech. And so that is our life experience, age gap. But it doesn't matter. I wanted to hear the names that you grew up watching. So that's awesome. That's great. Those are good names and good guys to look up to. So thanks for your time.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
I know it's game day, and
Yeah.
I know you got to get in it, and you're focused. But I was here a couple nights ago, saw you hit a 2-run homer. I can't remember if it was center right, maybe?
Right center.
Right center?
Yeah, it's pulling
Yeah.
out to left today though, so hopefully we can get a pull side one today.
Okay, well, I'll be here tonight too,
Okay.
so I'll be hollering for you.
Well, if you see a very blonde-headed girl, that's my wife.
Okay.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of them, but
I'll watch out for her.
I think she sticks out like a sore thumb, but I think I'm biased.
I'll watch for her. Very cool. Well, we'll be rooting for you. So thanks for
Thank
your
you.
time.
Of course.
All
Thank
right.
you.
And thank you for watching this episode of Hustle and Pro. Remember to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram to get the latest updates.